What's one of the hardest things you ever done? The hardest thing I've ever done was look in the mirror and tell myself I was sorry. Greatest problem was I was against me. Be your first best friend. Why would you let them destroy your life? At the end of the day, you have to be the first thing that you invest in.
And it almost feels like there needs to be a massive mindset shift for everyone to take back ownership of their life.
Absolutely.
To take the full responsibility of their life, to not rely on other people to give them opportunities, but to go own their own opportunities by creating and having a clear vision. And there's a few things that I want to talk about that I've seen you share some incredible strategies around mindset. I'm going to dive into in a second. But for those who don't know, you were at one point living homeless, a long time ago. People probably don't even know this about you because you used to talk about it, but it's like without the opportunities you have now. And what was the moment you switched your mindset that allowed you to take different actions to start creating your own opportunities?
Yeah, so I'd say it's the mindset. Like I had a victim mindset. Like everything was about somebody else. It was like the outside, inside theory. You know what I'm saying? Which is terrible. It's like everything that's supposed to blow me up and take me to the next level is somebody else's responsibility. When I look back, all the anger and the frustration and the hurt, it was all blaming. Everything was about this person or that person or this person. Nothing had anything. I never even realized I was where I was because of who I was. And I was actually getting the physical manifestations of my thoughts, of my feelings, my emotions. Like I was creating this. You created this. And I'm gonna tell you, the moment I realized you are the greatest common denominator, you're probably the least greatest, like you the common denominator. Once that realization hit me, it was like, oh, okay, you got some confessing to do, bro. Like, and I'm gonna tell you the hardest thing that I've ever done. Somebody asked me the other day, like, what's one of the hardest things you ever done? The hardest thing I've ever done was look in the mirror and tell myself I was sorry. And that was the hardest
Sorry
thing
for
I did.
what?
I was sorry for what I've got myself into, the choices that I made. That dude is the dude that looked himself in the mirror, was like, yo, you owe yourself an apology. And not only that, you owe yourself correction. You owe yourself change.
Wow.
You need to be taught. You need to be trained. You need to become a better human. And that was one of the most difficult days of my life, was looking at myself, correcting myself, telling myself I was sorry, and then moving forward saying, now what are we gonna do from this point? One of the dangerous things is the outside-inside theory. It's dangerous because what you're doing, whether you know it or not, you are comparing your journey and your life to somebody else's journey and somebody else's life. Like you don't even have, let's just be honest, you don't even have the right context to do that. You don't know why they're doing what they're doing. You don't know like what their strengths and weaknesses are. So you're comparing yourself to somebody that may have strengths that you don't have. Like they're nowhere near who you are.
Yes.
And so you're comparing yourself. So this is why I believe for those of us who finally get it, it's the inside out. Like everything we do starts from the inside. So I'm using the information you're giving me to build my journey, not I'm trying to be you.
Going back to kind of your story of the victim mindset.
Yeah.
Your mom lies to you about your dad. You don't see your dad, abandoned warehouses, all the problems, inner city kids struggle, getting kicked out of school, struggling. You had everything against you, right? And
no. See, yeah, I'm glad you said that. Okay, so I got you. So that's the outside, inside. So that's you had everything against you. No, the greatest problem was I was against me.
Oh,
that was the bigger challenge.
But most people have both of that. I wouldn't say most people, but a lot of people might be listening or watching who might feel like the outside has been holding them down.
No question.
Right? Their parents have been holding them down. Their school, their teachers, their coach doesn't give them the opportunity.
No question.
Their boss is holding them down, whatever it might be. The economy is holding them down.
1,000%.
Where I live is holding me down. The president, the government, it's all holding me down.
All of it is holding you down.
And how does someone get to a place, and maybe it's true, that things are holding them down?
They're absolutely true.
Right? Maybe it's true.
Yeah.
But what I'm hearing you say, that living in a victim mindset or living in an outside-inside theory will not help you get to where you want to be.
All I'm saying is this. They have the potential only to hold you down because you're allowing them to hold you down and you're seeing that they're holding you down. Let me tell you the one thing I wish I could go back. All my mentors, everybody told me, and they were right. Look, bro, I'm not saying that they were wrong. You need to get a degree. You need to make some money. You need to do whatever. But what they taught me was that my greatest assets were real estate. My greatest asset was a degree or a career. Nobody ever told me I was my greatest asset.
Yeah.
I'm my greatest asset.
Yes.
No, it doesn't matter. Look, people act as if you grow up in a house where your parents are rich, you're automatically, bro, we can look at people who grew up in wealth.
They're messed up.
Bro, they messed up. They on drugs too.
Yeah.
They make bad decisions too. Unfortunately, they take their lives as well. They check out. Bruh, it does not. So people think of money environment or you have both your parents in there and you get, so you think your story is on, it doesn't matter where you come from. If you don't activate you, the environment doesn't matter anyway. Great environment, bad environment. If you're not activated, anything you do for you, it's gonna blow out. At the end of the day, you have to be the first thing that you invest in. And if you invest in you, I just believe there's nothing that can stop you. You need to be more disciplined about your mindset. Right?
What do people need to be thinking about with their minds?
So here's the deal. You're already in pain. Get a reward for it. It's just like, look, do me a favor. Everything you say, you're right. But why go through life with whatever people did to you when you were younger or a young adult, and then you have to live with it for the next 40, 50 years? Like, why would you sit here and all the stuff that you said was absolutely right? My daddy wasn't there, my mama did this person did to me. Why would you let them destroy your life?
Let's go.
Why would you let them own you? Why would you allow that thing they did to hurt you now define the rest of your life?
Yeah.
It's like, no, I was in pain. It's real, but get a reward for it. Don't just think about you. Listen to me, like, I didn't give up. That's what I'm saying to everybody. We all go through pain. Some of us go through pain and it becomes our tombstone. Some of us go through pain and it's a scar. And we live a life of reward. So I'm just gonna say, again, 2025, do me a favor, check you. So you're in the ballot box and you're looking at all these options, doctor, lawyer, teacher, whatever you see, president, mayor, governor, do me a favor. Before you check off any of that, S&P 500, real estate, before you check any of that, check you.
Yeah.
Before you check anything, check you and go look yourself in the mirror and go, yo, I'm my lottery ticket. You gotta figure out who you are and love you and feel good about you and not care what nobody think about you. Figure out your North Star and wake up every single day going after your North Star. It's like, you gotta figure out what makes you happy. You have to find the thing that wakes you up at 3 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 10 o'clock. Like, you gotta find the thing that brings the life out of you, the joy out of you, the happiness out of you. And you can't do that following somebody else's North Star. So my last one would be, man, figure out what you was put on this earth to do. And I mean, every single chance you have to do it. Do it, and when you're not doing it, enjoy your life. So however much time I have left, I need to work hard and I need to enjoy that time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone can have a beautiful, amazing life if they live in a blaming mindset?
No. You know why? Because what I didn't realize as a young adult is that when you say it's somebody else, whether you mean to do it or not, you give them the keys to your life.
You give them power over
They got your whole life in their hand. Because you said it. They didn't do this, and because they got the keys. Now, I'll be honest, the reason why we don't want to take the keys, because we got to drive. We got to drive. And I told you, today I was like, I got too much to do. I normally drive. I'm like, I got too much to do. And it felt good to be in the car driven. While it's more responsibility, it's more freedom. It's more independence. It's more control. That anybody could be successful. But as long as you're playing the blame game, you have given permission, the license, registration, the keys, you give it all over to somebody else. And the day you take it is the day that you can start deciding which direction you want to go.
Wow. So it sounds like step one, take the keys back to your life.
Take the keys back.
What would steps 2 and 3 be for setting people up for their ultimate life? With that beginning process, is it get clear on a goal? Is it start with motivation, start with discipline, like change your habits? What would the next couple steps be to set up the mindset for success?
I would say step 2, be your first best friend. You know, like get to know you. we're so busy wanting to be in a community that we don't realize we are a community. Because all of us think we have to have somebody to be somebody. So I just think the first step after the first step is you got to figure out who you are and love you and feel good about you and show up in the room you and not care what nobody think about you. And I just think if the eagles aren't trying to, they just are, they're not trying. Lions aren't, what do you think about me? What do you think about my roar? You think I'm too loud when I roar? They're not concerned. And so I think step 2, figure out who you are, love you. And step 3, figure out your North Star and wake up every single day going after your North Star. Because when you have a North Star, you know, and the people that you love and you spend time with have a North Star, have a purpose. And look, their purpose might be, we both have people whose purposes are help us with our purpose.
Yes.
They don't necessarily have an individual purpose. Like they felt like they were called to help us
to serve our mission.
That's it.